Alright, what do you guys think about this Lego Spider-Man game? Okay, I know this is not a Lego game and stuff like that, alright? What do you guys think about this Spider-Man game? I've been thinking about this ever since I went to watch Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. I've been thinking about that they will make a Lego Spider-Man that look exactly like that, alright? Do you remember that when we played that game or when you watched that game and then they have each chapter and stuff like that? Alright, hold on. And then and this Lego Marvel Spider-Man game, the one I'm talking about, they only have 15 levels. 15 chapters, 15 hub worlds, and 15 different Spider-Man characters. Okay? When I say 15, I meant like each chapter is going to change to a different game. Like for example, from the beginning of the video game, alright, you will see Never Saw Spider-Man from the PlayStation 1. And then once you complete from the beginning all the way to the end, there goes the next chapter, which it means chapter 2 will be Never Saw Spider-Man 2. Once you complete that chapter, you go to Spider-Man the movie. Do the same thing and so on, and keep going all the way up to Marvel Spider-Man 2. Okay? But there are only 15 chapters. Okay? Alright, here's the combat system that I really want in a Spider-Man game, alright? Like, you see how the way I'm playing Marvel Spider-Man 2? And I'm playing as a Marvel Spider-Man 2 character, and I'm playing as Peter Parker and stuff like that. If you use this character and the Ultimate Spider-Man Hub World, you can do this. Look. You can do this. You can do the web wings. And then you can do this. And all of that bullshit. That will be so cool. And then check this out. And then, oh, and by the way, if you're using a Marvel Spider-Man 2 character and then bring it to the Ultimate Spider-Man Hub World, you will still have the same menu and all of that bullshit. But don't worry, but when you play the Ultimate Spider-Man character, but in the Ultimate Spider-Man Hub World, the main menu will change and stuff like that to original. So don't worry about that. Do you remember all of these Spider-Man games that we used to play? And one by one, all that bullshit. Don't you remember the combat system on each Spider-Man game? You see how the way each Spider-Man game combat system are different and all of that bullshit and stuff like that? I'm saying that if this version of Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man 2 character and the Ultimate Spider-Man Hub World, I want this version of Spider-Man to do this. To do the web wings and do this. Watch this. To do this and do this and do this. And check this out. You could do this and all of that bullshit. And then when we play the Spider-Man Web and Shadows version of the character and bring it and bring it in a Marvel Spider-Man 2 hub world, you will see Spider-Man from Spider-Man Web and Shadows character to do a tendrils attack. That will be sick. And then you can play as Venom from not Shattered Dimension, from the Ultimate Spider-Man. You can bring that character and the Marvel Spider-Man 2 or Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. That will be sick. And stuff like that. I'm saying that it's going to be a crossover game and stuff like that. Okay, do you remember when we were playing Lego Dimension and stuff like that? And let's say if you have 3 different characters, let's say, do you remember when we do a brand new game? Start a brand new game and stuff like that. You started with Batman, you started with Wild Style, and you started with Gangoff and whatever that word called, and then stuff like that. And then after that, you will see all different hub worlds and stuff like that. Like for example, you see how the way when you go right through it, when you try to go right through there. And when you go right through there, I'm sorry, and stuff like that, it's like you can't go right through there, but you can go right through there, and stuff like that. That would be cool. I want a Spider-Man game that would cross over hub world with using the same characters and all of that bullshit, the one I'm talking about. Like for example, if you see how the way when we play Marvel Spider-Man, the Atomic, all 3 Spider-Man game, don't you remember that Spider-Man did this? Wait, hold on. Does this? Does here on the ceiling? You could do this and stuff like that. Don't you remember you could do that? I want something that like that in the other Spider-Man game and stuff like that. I mean, in the other Spider-Man hub world, that would be cool. And whatever characters that you use, you still have the combat system and stuff like that. Ooh, what if I can play Spider-Man Web of Shadows character and the Marvel Spider-Man 2? You could switch between the red and black suit. You could use the tendrils attack like you did Spider-Man Web of Shadows. That will be sick. I want that game to be featured in this game and stuff like that. The reason why I'm saying this is because when I went to watch the Legacy of the Dark Knight, I was comparing between, in my head, that I was comparing between that Lego game and to other Lego games like Lego Jurassic World, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, Lego Marvel's Avengers, Lego Jurassic World, what you mean I just said that, Lego DC Super Villains, Lego the movie, the Lego Ninjago the movie, what else? Lego Dimension. I want all of that bullshit to be crossing over and stuff like that. But except that you're using Spider-Man. 15 different characters of Spider-Man, 15 story chapters, and 15 hub worlds, and all of that bullshit. And each of the different Spider-Man have their own combat system. like let's say, and when you play Marvel Spider-Man 2 character and the Ultimate Spider-Man game, you could do this and stuff like that and stuff like that. That's what kind of game I want. And we will play the Ultimate Spider-Man character, but in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 hub world, if you do the same bullshit, Spider-Man will jump out of the water and say that line and stuff like that. And did the same thing with Spider-Man 2 and all that bullshit. And by the way, if you play each Spider-Man character, you still have deaths. Death. Which it means like a suit tech, gadgets, skills, abilities, mission, collectibles, and all of that bullshit. I want that. I want each Spider-Man have a different menu. Don't you remember when we were playing Spider-Man Shattered Dimension? And then don't you remember that each dimension, if you look at the background, it changes to a different to the environment and stuff like that. Like for example, if you change to the 2099 level and stuff like that, you will see like the environment of the city looks different. And when we play the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, that's Spider-Man it's different. I want something that looks like that, but it's a main menu. If you play different Spider-Man and different hub world, but in a crossover game. That would be cool and stuff like that. Oh, and by the way, you see how the way I'm playing Marvel Spider-Man 2 and stuff like that? You could do this. And the other Spider-Man hub world. Look. Ha ha ha.
Added a little extra kick.
I want that feature in the Lego Spider-Man game. I've been thinking about them making a Spider-Man game that look like this, the one I'm talking about. But this version of Peter Parker will have his own combat system. Same thing with Spider-Man Web of Shadows, same thing with Shattered Dimension, Edge of Time, Bring the Foe, so on, so off, and stuff like that. When I say never saw Spider-Man game, I'm talking about those Spider-Man PlayStation 1, like Spider-Man 2, Enter Electro, and all of that bullshit. Each Spider-Man had their own combat system if you cross over that thing and stuff like that. That's what kind of game I want. Like, for example, you could do this in the Ultimate Spider-Man hub world. That would be so cool. You could do this in the hub world. You could do this in the hub world. You see how the way the characters are outlined, like my character is a blue outline, and then enemy are red. I want that feature in the game and stuff like that for all of them. You could do this, you could do that, you could web throw,
just to be safe, I recommend
objects and all that bullshit. But in the other hub world, if you're using that specific character, it only works in different specific character. Oh, and by the way, they have this. That would be cool. You can web wings and stuff like. Ooh, think about when you do this, play as Marvel Spider-Man 2 character, but in the Ultimate Spider-Man game, you do it with Johnny Storm races, combat tours, and all of that bullshit. I want that to be in the game.
I'm gonna fight Spider-Man with my
That would be sick.
You guys kept your receipts. Okay, Spider-Man. Let's see how you handle us. So, you guys are the bench warmers? This is gonna...
You could do this in the game, but in a different universe. All of that bullshit. You could do this, but in the other hub world.
And so ends.
That would be cool. That's what kind of game that I want. What do you guys think and stuff like that? Oh, and by the way, if you play the Ultimate Spider-Man version of the character, but in a Marvel Spider-Man 2 hub world, you can go visit over, you can go over here, and where's that area at? I lost it. It must be on the other side. You could see this. You can see this. Emily Osborn. Like she died in that universe. Don't you remember when we were watching the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show? And don't you remember that the Green Goblin had the Siege Perilous? And he went to other Spider-Man universes and stuff like that. And then each Spider-Man characters act differently and stuff like that. And then Spider-Man had to stop the Green Goblin
Well, look who's in the neighborhood.
from collecting, had to stop the Green Goblin from collecting the Spider-Man DNA. I want something like that way.
What's the matter? Who's Spider-Man too tough?
But you're not really doing that. See how the way I'm doing the combat and stuff like that? Like, I want this kind of combat right here, but in the other Spider-Man game. Like, you could do this. And all of that bullshit, you could do this. You could do this. But in a different hub world. That would be cool. Like, and then you could do this. And then you could do this, but in the other hub world. Hello? Hello? Oh.
Thanks for the assist.
God, there was more enemies. See something like that? I want something like that. Like, I want each Spider-Man have their own combat system with their combat upgrades and all that bullshit. But if you travel to another universe, I know that in this game they do have that. Like for example, I know they have that and stuff like that. I know they have this and stuff like that. I know they have this, but I want Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be in the Ultimate Spider-Man universe. I want Marvel Spider-Man 2 and the Spider-Man Web of Shadows universe. I want Marvel Spider-Man 2 in the Spring Defoe and stuff like that to do their combat and stuff like that. By using this combat system. That's what I want. And even though if you use different Spider-Man characters, you could do the same thing on this universe. That would be cool. But also, do you remember this? You could, if you play Marvel Spider-Man 2 character and a different hub world, you could do this. That would be cool, like this. But in the other hub world, but like in the Ultimate Spider-Man hub world, or Spider-Man Web of Shadows, and Marvel's Spider-Man 1, and stuff like that, even Miles Morales game, that would be cool. That's what kind of game I want. But it's a Lego game. What do you guys think? For a second, I thought that guy was humping. Alright, I'll see you later. What do you guys think about an idea? What do you guys think? Do you like it or not? Leave the comment section below, and I'll see you later. I want something like kind of like a mix-up order. That's what I want. Like if you play Marvel Spider-Man 2 character, you can play that character, but in the Ultimate Spider-Man hub world by using his own ability. Same thing with Ultimate Spider-Man character, but bring in the Marvel Spider-Man 2, and that Ultimate Spider-Man character will be having his own combat system, but in Marvel Spider-Man 2. That would be cool. That's what kind of combat system I want. And don't you remember when we were playing The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and you're using the web rush mode and stuff like that? If you play The Amazing Spider-Man character, but in a different Spider-Man, Spider-Man hub world, you still using your web rush mode, but in the Ultimate Spider-Man hub world. That would be cool. Do you remember don't you remember in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 that we did this? But we do this in the air and stuff like that. We can do that in a different hub world, like Marvel Spider-Man 2 hub world. That would be cool. But don't worry, if you play Marvel Spider-Man 2, but in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 hub world, you can still do this. But not in the air. But you can do that in the other hub world. That would be cool. I want to show you something, and I want to tell you something. Alright, you see how the way I play as a Sam Raimi Spider-Man costume? You see how the way this is called a super slingshot launch and stuff like that? If you use that character, but in this hub world, this slingshot thing, launch, whatever it's called, will disappear. But if you use the Insomniac Spider-Man 2 character, but in the Insomniac Spider-Man 2 hub world, don't worry, this will appear. Each character has their own specific thing, and like you do in different Spider-Man games.
Those people can't fight off symbiotes on their own.
Don't worry.
That's right. Focus on the big.
You see how the way that Sam Raimi Spider-Man have the Insomniac Spider-Man combat system? I don't want something like that way. I want him to use his own ability, but in a different hub world. That's what I want. So what do you guys think? I'll see you later. My name is Ian. Michael Smith. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave in the comment section below. Bye.